Hello and welcome to today's Let's Go Racing live stream. So for today I just have a small segment of an experimentation. As you guys know, if you have been following up previous videos, I've been trying to find or try to understand setups, how much setups to really make a difference in driving a car. So I was watching I was watching a podcast and I just stumbled upon the host mentioning brake bias, and I was like, that's interesting. I always keep locking my front brakes. Let me play around with the brake bias and see how much of a difference that makes. I have signed up for the SRS.
Air and track temperatures are rising. Air temperature is now 26. The track temperature is now 34 Celsius.
Thanks, Jim. So, like I said, I have signed up for a race in the Lotus around Laguna Seca. The track I have driven around a little bit in iRacing. I'm quite sure it's completely different driving in the Lotus as compared to driving in the Mazda. So I would have to learn my way around in the Lotus as well. And I'm going to put my time in for that race. But as for now, I am going to try and for maybe about 20-minute session try and see, because I'm familiar with Paul Ricard, I want to try and play around with Paul Ricard and see what kind of so I'm going to increase that and bring that to 6. Fuel I'm going to take in about 20. Is the brakes, where does the brake bias live? Gears, max speed gear. I don't understand what that is. I think brake bias sits in the, so let me exit through here and controls, in the controls here, shifters. No using separate shifter gear, up, gear down, secondary brake balance front. Okay, so I'm going to use click to assign, and then I'm going to use, okay, let me use gated shifter. Okay, okay. And I'm going to use brake balance, turbo pressure, traction control. We don't have any of that. MGUK, engine brake, no. Flash headlight, handbrake, not really. Glance left, glance right, glance back. Okay. It's not recognizing, so let's just say save current and then go back to our race and practice some laps. I'll have to configure, I'll have to change my base settings again, but like I said, I want to try and see what aero, splitter 1, 6 degrees fuel, 20 aero, I did that. What else? Tires, medium. Alright, so let me give this a shot. So we have a 65% brake bias to the back. I wonder what that does or how that changes things. I just wanted to drive around Paul Ricard because I've been driving around Paul Ricard last week and I've kind of gotten familiar with the track. May not be familiar enough to do well in a race, but at least the feel of the track and the braking points and stuff are still fresh in my memory, and I wanted to check how that change or the difference feels. So that's why I wanted to drive around Paul Ricard before I started driving around the Laguna Seca track. Alright, tires are beginning to heat up. This is my first lap, so I'm not trying anything funny. Like I said, I've driven around this track all of last week in all the various, and I still am making mistakes. I was listening to one of the videos from Sim Racing Garage on how to set up a motion rig, and one of the things he mentioned is you can run over, like, to set it up, the base setup, you can run over curbs or you can run over stuff, but for at least 5 laps or 5 minutes you need to just keep your laps clean. And I was like, whoa, really? By that measure I would never be able to set the motion rig up, because I haven't driven 5 minutes around any lap without crashing or spinning. I wonder how I'm still locking the so again, if anybody's watching and knows how to set up the car or has any inputs on, I'm a blank slate and I have no clue on what setup should try, or
time was 2:16.74.
So I'm your man, I'm your candidate. The last time I was a bit too eager. This time I yeah. Yeah. I don't think
Sector 1 time's okay.
let's try. So yeah, again, I probably will drive till the end of the session. I'm going to run out of fuel probably way before that.
You've got cold front tyres. Sector 2 is 0.41, slower than your best. Okay, Chris, you need to watch the track limits.
Got ya, Jim. If I'm not making those mistakes, I probably think my lap times are going to be way this. Plus my tire is, because of those mistakes, the tires are heating up. I'm still locking my front right at this point. So let's see. Oh, come on.
Track limits, this lap will be deleted.
Yep. I was trying to brake later. Yep, not quite working. Not quite working. So, let me resume this. Let me see. Do we have, I'm trying to think if there is a long straight at Laguna Seca, because there isn't, and I think the car needs to be set up for more downforce than for straight speed setup. So I'm not quite sure. I have to experiment there as much, and I think I'll try with the base setup that Assetto Corsa gives me. Oh, I'm still going wide. I didn't step on the brake. Now that we are not doing Paul Ricard anymore, I'm starting to get a hang of the turns. So let's try a few more laps.
That's 20 minutes to go.
I'm liking the rear bias, like brake bias, a lot better. At least that's what I can feel so far. I haven't run a full day race distance, so I don't know what that really feels like or what that would do
Sector 1 is quick.
in a race setting. But thus far, I think I prefer the brake balance the way it is. The way I've changed it.
Sector 2 time is quick. Okay, Chris, we need to watch these tracks.
So I'm getting pretty decent times out of the setup and the brake bias already, and this is just my 5th or 6th laps with bar about 2 or 3 laps. So far, I think it's going on well. The petrol or the gas indicator just came on. So, like I said, I'm not completely, I mean, I kind of like it like that because I can feel my, like when I'm braking there is no understeer. So that kind of, yeah, there is no understeer as I'm braking. Of course I'm carrying way too much speed there, but let me exit and try going back.